Now, after the Times Now news break on the TRF threat, let's break another breaking news that is coming in after Vivek Agnihotri, the filmmaker, has also slammed the Israeli filmmaker Nadav Lapid and the PDP over their remarks on the Kashmir Files movie. So Vivek Agnihotri, he is actually the filmmaker who made the film Kashmir Files, and it was the center of the attention during the International Film Festival when the Israeli filmmaker singled the film out and called it vulgar, obscene and propaganda as well. So to that effect, Vivek Agnihotri is now also taking on the PDP over their remarks on Kashmir Files movie, because there were several political parties that included mostly from the opposition which came out to support Nadav Lapid's remark. And fastest Hindus is what he seems to be saying. The common narrative between Lapid's remark and the resistant front threat is the fastest Hindus. He's also talking about the latest threat that has been issued on part of the TRF, where they have been saying the resistance front, a shadow organization of the LET, that the Valley's Hindus once again have now come under the radar of terrorism. And this is the story of persecution that began over 3 decades ago and still continues even undeterred today. And this time the TRF, which has given an open threat to the Hindus of Kashmir and has vowed to continue to target them. In fact, a list of people and officials there mainly, their names have also been mentioned in this threat letter. Kashmiri Hindus, and they have ranted at non-locals, and Kashmiri Hindus were taking away their jobs and land in Kashmir. To that effect, they will wipe everyone out from the valley, from Jammu and Kashmir. Let me go across to Mr. Ashok Pandit now. Ashok Pandit ji, as far as the TRF threat letter is concerned, Kashmiri Hindus are once again out on the streets, sir. They are demanding justice.
I totally agree to what Vivek has written, because this is exactly what we have been talking about. We have been saying that the way, we have been mocked, our genocide has been mocked in the International Film Festival at Goa. It has definitely encouraged the terrorists. Their confidence has been gone on a higher level, because they realize that we don't have any support within and outside also. The silence of the Directorate of Film Festivals, they have not even spoken a word about it. The government, the Information Broadcasting Ministry, has not condemned it. And yesterday when I heard Sudipto saying that Kashmir Files didn't fall into the criteria of being selecting for the awards. Now I, as a Kashmiri Pandit and a survivor of genocide, want to ask, what is this criteria in this film festival that doesn't allow Kashmir Files to be a part of the award selection? Is it not important that any film depicts my genocide? It's an insult to a filmmaker, an Indian filmmaker. The International Film Festival and the jury has humiliated and insulted not only Kashmiri Pandits, they have insulted a filmmaker of Vivek Agnihotri's repute, who's an Indian filmmaker. So they have humiliated Kashmiri Pandits, they have humiliated a filmmaker who belongs to India, they have humiliated the genocide and ethnic cleansing of an entire race. So it's become a joke. The International Film Festival of Goa has to come out in the open and narrate what the reality is all about.
But how serious is the threat, sir, as far as this TRF threat letter that has been accessed, sir? People's names have been put on it, and as far as this offshore terror organization says that we will target each one of them.
It is serious, because our experience says that we have been killed. Last 6 months we have lost so many lives. They announce and they kill, and no power on the earth is able to stop our killings. Is it not true? It has happened since 1989. They have announced the name of the person they have killed. They have announced the names of people who have been killed recently, last 6-7 months and a year. So it is truth, and we are fearing this. Kashmiri Pandits are expecting a major killing spree of Kashmiri Pandits now, because the day they decide that we have to kill so and so, they kill, and you are not able to control it. And out of all this furor, out of all this fear, when Kashmiri Pandits are demanding for their relocation, they are not doing it. The government is silent. The LG is silent. So we have been used as scapegoats. The film Kashmir Files, which depicted our pain,
right,
for the first time in the entire world came to know after my scene. which I made in 2002.
Right, sir.
So when people are talking about our pain, the world is talking about our pain, our own people are silent about it.
Right, sir. Mr. Pandit, thank you very much for your point of view. Let me go back to Pradeep on this because, Pradeep, this is what the Israeli filmmaker denied and this is what that he refused to accept. The people of Kashmir, Kashmiri Hindus out on the streets, they are protesting. This is what the Israeli filmmaker did not acknowledge.
See, if anything is vulgar, it was not Kashmir Files. The vulgar was denial of genocide. All these years we have seen that how the genocide of Kashmiri Pandits has been ossified in the collective psyche of countrymen. How it was done? By maintaining that collective silence, either coming out with the conspiracy theories or trying to blame then Governor Jagmohan for engineering exodus. But reality has been the story of trauma and tragedy that started in early 90s by that Caliphate Brigade that is continuing even today. But the problem is that nobody is talking about that. Man showed guts to make that film, to highlight their pain, to depict their trauma, depict their tragedy. And unfortunately, Israeli filmmaker who seems to be motivated, he called it vulgar, he called it propaganda. Is this the propaganda? Somebody should ask them a question. Is this the propaganda? For more than 200 days, these people are sitting out on protest. And why they're protesting? It is only for basic thing, right to life. And that is what actually they are doing.
Justice is a chance that can be heard from those Kashmiri Hindus where Pradeep currently is reporting from in Jammu there. This is another escalation as far as the serious threat is concerned of the TRF, the offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Now, the threat letter that has also been accessed by Times Now, but this is the people there conducting protests.